Hello friends, how is it going? It's me, Betty Jean. It is time for another anti-haul. It's been a little minute since I've done an anti-haul, and there are some products that have come out over the last, basically since I did this last time, that I'm just not interested in. I either just think it's stupid, I maybe kind of want it, but I'm talking myself out of it, or I just think it's funny just to roast. As always, anti-hauls are just supposed to be kind of a silly way to chat about things we're not interested in. It's really not that deep. If you're interested in any of these, I love that for you. That's great. It's just not my cup of tea, and that's okay. I initially got this video idea from Abby Williamson, who got her video idea from Kimberly Clark. Please go check them out. I'll have both of their channels down below. And before we hop into it, I did, of course, film this look. It should already be up on my Instagram and YouTube Shorts, hopefully by the time this video goes up. If not, it's coming very soon. And as far as my accessories today go, this is just an old basic choker. These plugs are Love Kills Boutique, and this hat is from Witchwood Bags. So yeah, without further ado, let's hop in and chat about some products that I have no intention on buying. Absolutely not. All right, let me do a little scooch so we have room for some pictures on the screen. Let me go to my little saved folder on Instagram. I'm basically just always saving stuff until I feel like I've accumulated enough stuff to talk about. All right, I forgot about this one. This is from Makeup Revolution. I feel like we always have a Makeup Revolution catastrophe in these videos. But this is the Monsters University collaboration. Now, I actually loved Monsters University. I think it's a really, really cute movie. I thought it was a really fun prequel to Monsters, Inc. I've rewatched it so many times. It's like perfect background noise for me. I just think this collection did it such a disservice. I do feel like the little eye brush set being in the Scream canister, or I guess now it's Laugh canister, is really freaking cute. It's like the only redeeming factor in my personal opinion. But this palette, what is going on with this palette? Why is it like this? Why couldn't you have just done, if you're gonna do this, do 6 9-pan palettes? It's like 6 9-pan palettes shoved together in one giant palette. I absolutely hate that. I think that's horrible. Why couldn't we have just done separate palettes? And then they also have other eyeshadow palettes on the side as well. What's the point? I just feel like this is just chaotic. It's messy. It's really poorly done in my opinion. I just think it looks like kids makeup for the most part with Monsters Inc. like stamped across it. Again, the only thing that's cool about this is the little canister for the brushes. Everything else is just stupid chaos, not for me. Wasn't interested when it first got announced, still not interested. 2 months later, this picture from Trend Mood was on August 5th. Next up, this is one that I'm interested in, but I'm trying to talk myself out of because I just have a feeling it's not gonna work for me. This is the Fenty Eavesdrop Blur and Smooth Tint Stick. Now, this sounds like everything that I want. It's light coverage, which I prefer. It has more of a just natural finish. It's supposed to be creamy and smooth. I love a stick foundation. It used to be my go-to back in the day, but most of them are full coverage. So I love the idea of a light coverage stick foundation. The problem is, I just feel like Fenty complexion products and me, we don't mesh. The original foundation was not great for my dry skin. The skin tint even, I feel like I could only make it work if I mixed like liquid highlighter with it. It's just not a good time for me. And I'm worried that this will be as well. I've heard that this does work good for dry skin, but I also heard that about the skin tint. So I don't know what to believe. Who knows? I might still end up trying one during the Sephora sale, but I'm trying to talk myself out of it just because I've yet to meet like a Fenty complexion product that works for me. I love their bronzer. Their highlighter is one of my favorite, what am I saying? It is my #1 favorite highlighter. I love their lip products. It's just, I don't know, man. This one, I just don't think it's gonna be for me. Okay, this next one, I just feel like, why are we back in like 2018? Stila, they released new shades of the suede shade liquid eyeshadows. So back in the day, like 2016, 2017, 2018, if I had to guess, they came out with like the liquid glitter eyeshadows, which I feel like took the internet by storm. They were like magical, glittery, shifty shadows that looked so good on the lids, but they dried out within a year, like for sure. Like they were crusty, dusty, no more. Eventually they also launched this version of their liquid shadows where it was more just like a satiny situation. And I did try them because back in the day, I was like, these are the coolest thing ever. Yes, I will spend $25 a pop on each one, like no questions asked. But these are kind of dumb. I just feel like they don't really look nice on the eyes. There's really no shine, no shimmer. It just looks kind of satiny, but also really flat. And like, maybe that's what you're going for if you don't love sparkle. but I feel like you can get this effect with other like satin shadows that aren't $25 a pop for a liquid that is going to inevitably dry out on you. And I just feel like, I know that I can't speak for everyone, but I just feel like nobody wants this. You know what I mean? Maybe you do. I don't know. This picture Trend Mood posted on July 1st, and I've seen not a singular person talk about these. I'm sure these appeal to people who are just chronically offline maybe, and they just wander into Sephora every so often and they see these on the display and they pick it up. But I feel like for the most part, these just don't look good. Most people don't want this. I just feel like Stila is living in the past heavily. Okay, this next one. This is the new Naked Metal Mania palette from Urban Decay. The packaging is so cool. I love the bright primary colors with the pop of silver and pink, the stars, the glitter, and then the inside just lets me down. Why does this happen every time? Urban Decay, can we please just get it together? For one, not everything needs to be a naked palette. And for two, we can do things that are a little more creative. We don't have to do the same basic browns with 2 pops of color. I only like the shimmer fuchsia and shimmer silver. That's the only thing I like about this palette. I saw this and I thought it was just such a tragedy that this even has to exist. They actually did send this to me. I didn't realize this is what they were sending when they wanted to send it. Because when they reach out to you for PR stuff, they don't tell you what's coming. They just give you a hint. And the hint that they gave me made it seem like it was going to be more based on like the metals, like shadows that they did a while ago, not like a whole palette, or I probably would have said no because I would have had a feeling it wouldn't be my cup of tea. I even posted when I got this and not a single person was like, yeah, I want to see a video. I think every single person felt the same as me and was like, this is crickets. This is so boring, especially with all the other things that are releasing right now. This is just not for me. If it's for you, that's great. Not for me. Okay, this one was disappointing. Wow, I forgot about this. This picture was posted on September 5th. It's only been like a month and a half, but I totally forgot about this. This is the new Hourglass Holiday Face Palettes. The packaging on all 3 of these is really, really cool. The snake, the jaguar, the jellyfish, it's all really cool. But then you look on the inside, these look almost identical. These are like the same palette repeated 3 times. Like maybe the snake one is a little bit darker than the jellyfish one, but like by just a notch. Like, you know how when you're in the shower and like your water's just slightly too cold, but like it doesn't need to be much hotter and you do like the tiniest little like turn with the knob? That's what this was. We just made it just slightly darker, but not really. Why even do 3 palettes? Like Hourglass has been like notorious for only releasing like 1 shade of everything for the longest time. Like they would do just 1 palette normally and it would always be catered toward light skin. So this time it's like, okay, cool, we have 3 palettes. They're all still pretty much primarily for light skin. Great, you just did the bad thing 3 times. So yeah, definitely not interested. Hourglass is just not a brand that I'm personally interested in regardless, but I thought this particular release was extremely disappointing to see. Okay, this next one, I was intrigued, and then I realized the truth of this. So P. Louise was launching new Halloween eyeshadow palettes. I saw this picture, and I was like, oh my gosh, so cool. Like these are P. Louise palettes that aren't ginormous. They have interesting color stories. This is really awesome. I love the packaging. I was like, all 4 of these palettes are so cool. No, no, no. This is not 4 palettes. It's 2 double-sided palettes. I don't want a double-sided palette. And I know a lot of people feel the same way because I saw a lot of other people complaining about this. It's like you open it up and one of the palettes is here and then you have to close it, flip it over to get the other palette. I just hate that. Why couldn't it have just been 4 smaller palettes? P. Louise, you were this close. You were this close to getting me for the first time. This is sad because like I do really enjoy these. I especially like the 2 on the left. I like that blue-gray scale one. And then I love the purple, yellow, green one at the bottom corner. We were so close, but yet so far away. Not for me, no thank you. Also, not to mention, these have a literal lock and key that you open and close. I appreciate the kitschiness of it. It's cute, but it's not practical for my life. Personally. Okay, Chi Chic Beauty. This is the Jewel collection. These little 9-pan eyeshadow palettes. I can get down with little monochromatic theming for sure. But there is a thing for me in my brain as too monochromatic, and that's what these are to me. Also, not to mention these do have glitters in them, which I don't prefer. I prefer, if I'm gonna use glitter, for it to be totally separate from my palettes. But so much of these palettes are all very one note. Like a lot of these are so similar to each other. I feel like if you're gonna do a monochromatic palette well, there needs to be a range of depth, and there also needs to be different undertones. Like give me warmer greens and cooler greens. Give me bright fiery reds, and then also give me more berry toned reds. Especially with that gray palette, like so many of those look exactly the same. This just wasn't done great in my opinion. They are affordable, they're $15.99 each, but I also just feel like it's not really worth $15.99 each personally. I also I'm not vibing with the packaging. I think it's a little too not my vibe. It really sucks because I really enjoy Chi. I think she's so cool and I want to like dive into her brand more. I've only ever used her freckle product years ago. Unfortunately, just nothing fits what I need, unfortunately. Okay, this next one, Makeup Revolution's at it again. And I got tagged in this a lot because a lot of you know so deeply that I love It Chapter 1 and It Chapter 2. Tim Curry was a great Pennywise, but Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise is just my favorite thing in the world. I have a Pennywise tattoo on my thigh. I love that whole thing. And this is the Makeup Revolution and It's collaboration. Guys, why does it have to be shaped like this? It's just like, can you imagine trying to store that on a shelf? It's not gonna fit. There's like so many angles popping out, and then the other palette's balloon. It's a round. It's gonna roll. I know that's probably not a problem for everybody, but it's a problem for me. I have a lot of palettes, and as you see, they sit on a shelf nicely. Those aren't gonna sit on a shelf nicely. I just don't love when palettes are a weird shape. Like we could have still done the cute boat, but it could have just been on a palette, you know? We were so close. And like, I don't even hate the color story of the boat one. I actually think it's kind of good. It's not too bad. It's not just a rainbow palette. The balloon, that's a rainbow palette, but the boat, it's kind of cute. I just hate how angular it is. And like, I totally get that it's because it looks like the boat, but it's just so not practical. Not to mention the balloon sponge. Why is that the goofiest looking thing in the world? Like it fits the theming 100%, but it's so goofy looking. Yeah, this one was just like, I can appreciate that it's an entity that I adore, but it's just not something I want to have in my home. Personally. Okay, next up, I know that some people will enjoy these. Again, I feel like these are going to appeal to the people who aren't really on like the internet side of makeup, or the makeup side of the internet, I should say. Rather, you're just going in the drugstore, you find these, you pick them up, they're great, cool. But these are the new Maybelline Color Rivals Duos. It says in Asia, so actually they might not even be available everywhere. It might just be in Asia. And I don't shop Maybelline anyways because they're not cruelty free, but I figured I would talk about these anyways because I just think these particular shadow duos are really, really ugly. I think most of these color combinations are pretty bad. I mean, the neutral ones are fine, but they're just neutrals. But like the ones that are trying to be pops of color, I think are just really ugly combos. Like they look dusty, crusty. I just feel like they don't complement each other really well. It's just, I think these are bad, personally. Just flat out ugly. I don't really have any more words other than that. I just think they look ugly. Okay, next up, this is the Profusion collaboration with Casper the Friendly Ghost. I truly did not realize how many collaborations I put in this anti-haul, and this isn't even all the collaborations. I feel like everyone is collabing right now, like every entity. Like, it's such a shame too, because I remember back in like 2019, even 2020, like entity collaborations were only just beginning, and it was kind of few and far between. Enough to where it was kind of like, oh cute, like so-and-so is collabing with this board game or whatever. It was like so few and far between that it was like kind of fun, but now it's so overwhelming that it's kind of just like beyond exhausting. We don't need to collab with everything. Not everything needs a collaboration, which I will circle back to that thought in a second. But this is the Casper collab. I love Casper. I think it's so cute. I grew up on Casper. I just think this was poorly done. I mean, that's just usually how these entity collabs go, right? It's just the entity's name slapped on it, and then the insides are subpar. I think most of this looks like absolute children's makeup. The photography for these are really cute. Everything's very like witchy and kind of spooky magical, but the actual products look like kids makeup to me. And I've also heard really bad things about the quality. I've heard it's very subpar. So yeah, I don't think I need to like drone on and on about this. This is just kind of to be expected now with an entity collab. It's probably gonna be poorly done with a logo slapped on top. The mirror is cute. I like the Casper mirror, but other than that, it's just not for me. And finally, last but not least, when I saw this one, I was like, I think this is gonna be the end of this video. I think this is the one to close out the current anti-haul. Remember what I said about not everything needs a collaboration? This was not on anybody's bingo card. This is the Laura Geller and Wheel of Fortune collaboration. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. This is horrible. And listen, I understand that like makeup taste is subjective. We all have different preferences, but this is ugly. This is really bad. This is so dusty and so just unappealing. I truly can't see anybody wanting to buy this. It's just stupid. It's also like, not like super affordable either. It's very like mid-range. And you can get like these kinds of things, like these kinds of colors anywhere else. And is anyone this big of a Wheel of Fortune fan and also Laura Geller fan that you're like, hell yes, this is the collaboration of my dreams? I just think this is one of the absolute dumbest things I've ever seen in my entire life on the internet. Thanks, Laura Geller. This was a treat to see. I know that's mean, but I just think this is the dumbest thing. I just can't. Why? Again, just because you can doesn't mean you should. This is just another level of unhinged. I can't. I can't. Okay, I think I've rattled on and on enough. My sassy meter is filled now. And this is the end of the current anti-haul. I'm going to now start saving products for the next one. Hopefully, I mean, there's gonna be some bad holiday releases, so maybe I'll have one by the end of the year. If not, maybe in January, we'll see. I kind of just do these based on vibes. I used to try to do them monthly, but I'm like, I don't wanna force it. I genuinely only wanna save the things that like stand out as bad because I'm obviously not buying everything. I could anti-haul everything that I'm not buying, but that would be stupid. There's too many releases every single week. There would literally be an anti-haul every week. But I try to just like save the standout ones. The ones that make me like, as I'm scrolling, kind of stop and I'm like, what? That's what this one did to me. I'm honestly a little offended by this one. I think it's just so bad. Like just the audacity to even create this. It's just, I can't. I would love to hear your thoughts. What did you think of what I'm talking about? Do you actually love any of the things that I mentioned? Do you want any of them? What are some things that have come out recently that you anti-hauled or are planning to anti-haul? Whether you're just trying to talk yourself out of something or something you just think is flat out ugly. I would love to know. We all have different tastes and preferences, and that's okay. Like if you love this Wheel of Fortune collab, don't listen to me. Like go you. I'm so happy for you. I just think it's dumb. I'm sure I play with makeup that you think is dumb sometimes too. And it brings me joy. And that's what makes the world go round. If you made it to the end of this video, leave some emojis that you do not enjoy. And also if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel out a lot. And if you're not already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm BATTYBEAN there as well. And also feel free to subscribe if you haven't. I'm posting every single day in the month of October. And also feel free to join my channel memberships. The link to sign up will be down below. You'll get fun little perks, including a members only get ready with me once a month. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.